Discord in here. This will be this one, but that's smaller. Okay, now we're good to go. Alrighty. CKJ Crypto News, Crypto Ripple Pioneers. I'd like to welcome everybody to the show today. Today we have a very, 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 very special guest. We got our first Average Joe Q&A, huge supporter of the Ripple community, the infamous Brad Kimes himself.
How you doing, CKJ?
I'm doing marvelous. I'd like to really thank you for taking time out to do the show. I know you're on scene at the location at the beach there, and I know it's extremely hot out today, and I really appreciate your time, that's for sure.
Well, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I am down in Ocean City, Maryland, working, playing some music for the next couple of weeks, and I'm loving it, but it is very hot out, man. Thank you for having me. I'm the Average Joe investor, first one.
Yeah.
CKJ, man.
Yeah, that's huge. You're going down in history as actually the first one, that's for sure. You know, the way I first ran across you is I actually think I ran into you first in Cobb Stream, like I was saying, and I seen you mention my name, and I'm telling you, I'm just overwhelmed by the support from the community. Like I think you are one of the first guys I recognize is basically supporting me and just supporting the community all around. Thank you. I'd like to thank you for that, actually.
Well, man, I mean, look, well, I mean, you're welcome, man, but I think the thanks is going from me to you and to Alex Cobb and the Jungle Link and Thinking Crypto and Digital Asset Investor, DM Logic, and the community that's really coming together. You guys are a fantastic community, and every one of you have your own way and style, delivery of information, and every bit of it to me is very helpful, keeps me informed, helps keep me focused on what I'm doing with my investments and what's happening with my stuff. And you guys are passionate about it, and you are absolutely incredible at research. Your investigative skills aren't just skills, they're a gift. I've told you that before, but it is really the truth. What you have found and what you share with all of us is just amazing. Thank you, man. Thank you, seriously.
Wow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's the one thing I love about the community the most is just how supportive everybody has been. I've actually been overwhelmed with support, and you know that makes you feel really good when people support you and they have positive things to say, and that's amazing. I think one thing I think that really brings us all together is actually Ripple. We're all so excited about Ripple, and I mean, it's brought all walks of life together as far as, you know, black, white, fat, skinny, different nationalities. It has just brought us, it's united us like unbelievably. It's like a whole new world on a united front, fighting for the belief of Ripple.
Yeah, man. You're right. You're right. And I've gotten a lot of family and friends into Ripple XRP, I can tell you that. And it's been a thing. You know, when you talk to somebody that's a family member or a friend or a coworker, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out here in this community realize they start looking at you like you're from Mars. But it's because you're so excited, you've done the due diligence, and when you want to share it with somebody, they don't get it. There's a void. A lot of them won't follow through with it and look at it. But I've been really successful getting a lot of friends here that I work with in the band that I play with. Family members are getting into it. And you said this a long time ago, and I don't know if there's ever been true words spoken. You said if you do the due diligence on this company, you will become obsessed with this company.
I agree.
And you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right.
I agree. Ripple is an obsession. I eat, sleep, and breathe Ripple. So what actually are you doing out there at the beach right now?
I'm a professional musician, and I play with an R&B band, and I play with an older guy. He used to be a backup singer for David Ruffin from the Temptations, and we're basically just playing like dance R&B music for people out behind the hotel on the deck with the Atlantic Ocean as the backdrop. It's pretty beautiful.
Oh, I bet it is beautiful. What's your bandmates there beside you or behind you there?
What's that now? The building behind me?
No, I said you. I seen you look back. Do you have a bandmate that's right there with you?
Oh, they're not with me now. They're heading back into the house. But yeah, they actually bought in, and they're waiting for their deposit to clear and uphold so they can make their first XRP purchase. And then I actually got another band member and his wife hooked up this morning, and they're waiting for their account to have pending cleared so they can go ahead and make their XRP. We're getting them in here, man. Little by little, you know.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of that's what I wanted to do the average Joe thing for is to pretty much talk to people that are out there in the community that are eat, sleeping, and breathing crypto, and they're bringing this technology to a lot of people. What do your bandmates or other people say when you first? Well, first thing first is how did you even hear about Ripple and XRP?
Okay, so yeah, that's a good one. I actually have a very small, modest beach company that I started from an idea that I had, and it's a very small little company. But basically, what it entailed was me teaching myself how to become a global importer and to import things from China. And when I learned how to do that and started doing that, I learned about the pains and the headache and the strife of a company called Swift.
Oh.
Yes, absolutely. So it was through that I knew what it was at all. And later on, fast forward a couple years, I started getting into pot stocks with my brother. And as I would get these investor letters, I'd hear little excerpts or advertisements about Bitcoin. And I was like, I've got to really check this out. What is this,
Okay.
And of course, it cost too much money. And so did Ethereum, and the next thing down was Ripple, and I just started digging into that because it was actually affordable to me, to the average Joe.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So when I looked into it, it was pretty simple to see on the Ripple page, the federal task force, that had gotten together. It was like, okay, something different is happening with this coin than any other coin on the market. And, Thomas Jefferson, I think it was, said a revolution comes from within. So it's in there, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. Believe it or not, that sounds exactly like me also. When I first found out about, I heard about Bitcoin first, and then I started going down the line and read about Ethereum. But then when I read about Ripple, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a no-brainer. Like, just like you said, replacing the 40-year-old Swift system, and then you start realizing the partnerships and then the banks, and I firmly believe we got in on Ripple at just the right time before it explodes.
I think so.
That's for sure.
I really do feel that way.
Yeah, me too.
Really do.
Me too. I think it's our intuition talking to us. So on to the next question. So how is it, for example, when you start going to your bandmates or your buddies or your coworkers or your wife or your family, and you're like, hey, listen, I found Ripple, and this is going to be huge. Give us an example of, what you go through that on that aspect.
Well, it's never an easy conversation when you're talking to somebody, and I apologize for I'm holding this camera if it's not very steady at times, but it's not an easy thing to approach somebody and tell them that you think you found something that could change their life if they put a few $1,000s in it. Because, the first thing people are going to do, look, I just told a friend the other day as an example to what you're talking about, and it's somebody I've known for a very, very long time. They've seen me do things and be successful. But I was like, hey, this is a thing. You just had a grandbaby in your family. It could be beautiful for you. And the response was, I'm very cynical about investment advice. and look, and my response to that was, well, I hope you're so cynical that you actually go check it out.
Yeah, exactly. Can you still hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, so basically, how do you get to the point to where that, okay, well, they're laughing at first and they're not really believing it? What's the compelling argument to say, okay, where they may take interest? Do they take interest? Or are you still in the boat by yourself, or do you actually convince them?
I do actually win a lot of them over, and it's funny because I don't really feel like I win a lot of people over. What I feel like, because this is how I approach it. I say, okay, well, let me send you a link or two on it, and then the challenge for you is if you're really interested in looking at it, is to see if you can come back and tell me why you wouldn't invest in it.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. That's for sure. Wow.
And then I usually send them a link about the federal, task force, payment services, and all that task force stuff. So, it's like if you see that, and then you just kind of blow it off, you're really in a place where your awareness isn't you're not approachable anyway. So.
Yeah, that makes sense also. Wow. Sounds like you're a smart man. I'd like to thank you again. I mean, the interview's not over, but I'd still like to thank you again mid-interview. I know it's hot out there. It's about 100 degrees out there today, ain't it?
It is, man. And I'm getting ready to go play until about 9:40 tonight. But you know what? I'm grateful for my life, man. And I'm grateful that I get to do what I do. And it is not a perfect life by any means, but I love my life, and I'm grateful I get to do it, man.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I also should have told you probably should have got a selfie stick, because when I used to make videos, I used to hold the camera for a while, and after a while, like, your arm would start burning.
I feel like I'm doing forget-me-nots right
now. So basically, you were talking to me about something that was really interesting about far as setting up people with uphold cards.
Yes.
No, what was you calling that again?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I've been doing is with family, friends, coworkers, everybody that actually starts to get involved, and they're like, okay, how do I do this? I've been turning them on to Uphold because it's one site to get logged on to as opposed to Coinbase and Binance. But I belong to all of them, and I love them all. I recommend Uphold because it's less scary to people. And they can go on and buy it, load the USD card. They understand how prepaid cards look. That's how the site looks to people. Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I think I just fixed the echo problem.
Oh, yeah, you rock. Okay, we have both lines open.
Yeah, I have my cell phone open too. Now we have like the regular interview. Oh my gosh. So now you actually sound way better too.
Oh, fantastic. So basically what's going on is that on the Uphold, you can make as many XRP cards as you want. You can title them whatever you want to title them.
Okay.
And I've been helping people, and I've been challenging people that I've helped get signed up to pick somebody that they're not a family member or not a friend, because really you should be accountable to just turn those people on to it.
Okay.
And if they get it, they get it. If they don't, it's on them, right? But my challenge was to pick somebody that you may see in your everyday life, but they're not a friend or whatever. Maybe it's a grocery clerk, a single mom, couple kids, who knows. It's enough of a scenario you can put it together, right?
Okay.
And donate 50 XRP or $50 US worth of XRP, which could be $100 right now, right? So like a 50-50 challenge, either 50 XRP or 50 US dollars. And basically, in 2 years, you're going to give that to somebody. Now, this is going to be an inside challenge. It's not important that your neighbor know you did this, right?
Okay.
This is a challenge from within. If you watch this video, you're already accountable to really do it if you got something in you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And basically, it'll take a lot of grace in a couple years to give that same $25 or $50, however, whatever you put up. It'll take a lot of grace to give that money, because it ain't going to change somebody's life maybe, but it'll certainly impact their life in 2 or 3 years.
Exactly. I agree. So you said that have you got a card for somebody as of right now?
I do. I have 2 cards I'm doing, actually. I work at a hotel, not the one that you see over my shoulder behind me, but just a couple over from it. And there's a lady in there who's a housekeeper, and she can barely walk. She goes to work every day. I've been working this hotel off and on for almost 20 years.
Wow.
She's been there since day one, and she ain't leaving.
Wow.
And in 2 years, I'm going to give her this money.
Wow.
And I don't know what it'll be, but I'm going to give it to her.
Wow. So it sounds like you got like a really big heart. That's for sure.
Well, man, I mean, it's a damn brief life, brother.
Yeah, I agree with you there. If we have more people like you, it would be a wonderful life. Like I said,
and likewise to you too, CKJ. I mean, what we're doing is very community oriented. Once I got into this thing, I really started to realize that it magnifies good people. there's a lot of good people in this community, and I want to take a moment now that I'm thinking of it, saying that, to throw a shout out to Robert Lee, the guy on the outside, just like total love and support and putting money behind you guys and really being a real player and really helping bring a community together from the outside. And C3J Nick, or C3 Nick, I hope I'm not, I hate, please forgive me if I've got it wrong, but everybody knows who C3 Nick is, right? You know?
Yeah.
You know, those guys are doing a lot of good stuff from the outside edge. They seem to be, you know, a real influencers in the community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
As well as you guys. You know what I mean? You guys are incredible. Like I said, every one of you have your own delivery to what you're doing, and it is important to get it, for me, from each one of you. I love the perspective that I get from every one of you. I mean, like you said before, Jungle Wink is like he's a killer motivator, you know what I mean? And so's DM Logic. I mean, you know, he comes from another perspective, you know, kind of like what we're talking about a little bit as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, a chance to look outside of your own benefit from XRP and start to look at, while it's 45 cents, right? And hey, we don't know, it might even go down a little more, who knows? But it's 45 cents. And we can't take 25 or 50 bucks and like find that person and be like, you know, or you don't even have to have that person, but just put it aside, and in a couple of years you'll know who that person should be, right?
Yeah, exactly. Wow. I think that's actually a really, really kind thing to do, is basically, you know, take a small amount of money, 25, 50 bucks, and you can put in an uphold card for somebody. And what you say we call it, the 50-50 challenge?
I call it the 50-50 challenge, because it's either whatever you could afford, right? Like if you donated 50 XRP to it, it'd be like right now about 25 bucks. And if you donated $50 US dollars, it'd be about 100 XRP donated to some. So, you know, whatever you could personally afford is really what you should do. And obviously, if you're really in a tight situation and you're only saving 20 bucks a week for yourself to do it, now's not the time for you to do that. Maybe now's the time to do it for yourself, because you need to get yourself right first.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense. I will accept your challenge on that too. I think I will send. I think I will get a $50 card for somebody, or maybe a few family members, or like people I know, to encourage them, just to get them involved. And actually, believe it or not, now that I really think about it, I think it's a much easier way to pique people's interest. As far as just telling them about it, and you know, sometimes people aren't receptive to a lot of information. Once you say, hey, I got you the card and you own 50 XRP, I think that'll really pique their interest even more, and say, okay, what is this XRP? What the hell is he talking about? And then I think it's almost just like you said, once a person actually starts doing just a little bit of research, you're hooked. You're hooked, because like I said, this is our Amazon, this is our Google, this is our time. I believe this is going to be, and from most of the stuff I've read from all the partnerships, like everybody says, you know, the financial system hasn't been revamped in 40 years, and just all the pieces are lined up for something huge here. And I think Ripple is actually going to be the leader in that revolution, that's for sure.
Here's CKJ Crypto News. We research, baby.
Oh man, I like that. Research and research. That's for sure.
It's real, man. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff, man. So I mean, that's the challenge, man. And I'd like to challenge not only you, but I would like to challenge, you know, okay, so it's the CKJ challenge, which you've accepted, which is amazing. Yeah. And then I'd like to challenge Alex Cobb, who I love, aka PhD Rippleology. That kid is so bright, man. He's got a hell of a future. And I'll tell you something, you know, I'm excited to see what he does, man. I mean, to be 18, and you commented on your stream earlier, and I feel much the same way. It's like, God, my head was screwed on that right when I was 18. Lord only knows where I'd be now, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. I agree with you 1,000%. Matter of fact, I was just talking to my girl about that, and I think everybody may have heard. But anyway, I said, you know, if it wasn't for her, like you know, when I was 18, I rip and ran a whole lot and partied, and I partied to probably even recently up to 3-4 years ago. And you know, I guess when you find somebody you love, you know, different things encourage different people to, you know, slow down in life and start taking things more serious. And I guess that would be my fiance. That slowed me down, and I don't party like I used to, and that's a good thing.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, but I'm glad though, because actually I'm so focused on Ripple, and I'm just so glad I found Ripple. That's for sure.
Me too, man.
My other quick question really is, you know, I'm kind of curious about the average Joe. Is like far as my perspective, once I found Ripple, I became focused on Ripple. I do have other investments, of course, but like when you first got into digital assets and crypto, I mean, was you invested in Bitcoin or Ethereum? Do you decide to focus on Ripple, or do you still watch all the cryptos, or do you focus on Ripple mainly? Like, what is your, what is your angle now as far as cryptocurrencies?
My angle right now is Ripple, and it is all Ripple, and I'm all in on Ripple. I'm always going to be that way because we know those, all of us who are in the community, we've done the work, and we all know what they're about to do.
Okay.
And they are the lifeblood of how this industry gets built on. They are the foundation. Everything is going to be sculpted off of how they handle this going forward. So for me, it's Ripple all the way. But then I will say, as this market emerges with the regulations and the clear cut moving forward with a lot more clarity and regulations, if there's a McDonald's, there's going to be a Burger King. If you can better bet I'm going to buy some Burger King too.
Yeah, you're right on the money with that. You're right on the money with that. That's for sure. I'm not going to keep you too long because I know it's hot out there. I think I do got one more question. So, another movement everybody's starting on YouTube is, what are you going to do once your XRP blows up? Like, what's your plans once your XRP... I can already see your kind-hearted guy with the 50-50 challenge that we're gonna get some momentum behind this. But like, what is your what would you like to do once XRP goes to the moon, as they say?
Well, you kind of stole my thunder earlier in the stream, and I know we've referenced it a lot, but I thought you really touched a lot of really good things in that stream earlier, and you really said a lot of it for me was my time. I want my time back.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm 47, so I want my time back, and I want to be able to take my time and to be able to do more meaningful, impactful things, maybe directly in the community that I'm in.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Where I can feel it, and the people around me can feel it.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think until I figure out anything further than that, that'll be a great place to start, right?
Yeah, oh, you're right on the money with that. That's for sure. Wow. Like I said, that's for me personally. Same thing. Most important thing is time. That's for sure. Time is, like you said, spend with your family, your friends, your loved ones, and enjoy life. And
that's right.
I mean, you're out there. You're in the band. I'm telling you. I think you're living the dream right now.
Yeah, I tell you the truth. I do feel like I'm living the dream. I mean, I'm very fortunate to be able to make a living doing this, and I don't take it for granted. I really don't take it for granted. I'm very grateful to be able to do what I do. And I've had points in my life where I've had to do other things, and I've had plenty of humbling and humility in my life.
Wow. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Alrighty, well, I guess we'll wrap up the interview. I really like to thank you for coming on and being the first Average Joe on the show. And definitely, you got a hell of an idea with the 50-50. Helping spread the word. And I think that's what it's really all about too. Is giving other people opportunity to get involved in this revolutionary time with Ripple. I think we're all on the same page. We're all in for one hell of a ride with this Ripple. That's for sure.
I agree, man. And thank you again to you, CKJ. I'm serious, man. The stuff you're doing is just, it's priceless to someone who's the average Joe investor, who comes out here, and there are millions of sources that you can get information. And believe me, I've done research on top of research when I first started following CKJ to find out that everything you're finding is real and substantial and very credible. You're a very thorough man, and you're a very brilliant man. You're very smart. You have an investigative nose like unbelief. I mean, I want to deem you like AKA Columbo. You're like the Columbo, man. It's like one more thing, and it's just like you come in and crack the case. You know what I mean? It's amazing. But thank you for everything you do, and thank you for having me. It means a lot to me to be on here with you, man. I hope you have a great day.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that so much. You made my day. You made me smile. You might even have made me blush.
Thank you, CKJ. Take care, buddy.
All right, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Kimes. You are the man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Let me stop recording. Hold on.